Panda one fish, two fish. Panda one fish, two fish. Panda red fish, blue fish. One fish, two fish. Panda red fish, blue fish. One fish, two fish. Panda red fish, blue fish. One fish, two still in the camera? Panda red fish, little bit. Fish. One fish, two still in the camera? Panda red fish. Little bit. All right, let's check the YouTube. Then we're going to texture the rockabilly outfit and shoes. That's the plan for today. Excuse me. All right. Where's the YouTube? Hello, YouTube. Excuse me. All right. Where's the YouTube? Hello, YouTube. YouTube says me. YouTube sounds fine. All right. Hey, it's Rod Shelley, and we got art in the house, and we have the awesomeness that is CS Bond 2. Welcome, y'all. It is overcast, and honestly, I'm a little down today, so we'll slog through this anyhow. BRB, Chris. Okay. Oh, and it's Rod Shelley. Hum diddy hum diddy hum diddy hum. What am I doing? I'm gonna see where I left off with the dress for Daz. I think I redid the Genesis 8 version because it had some weirdness. And I think I might have redone the Genesis 9, but I don't remember. Yeah, where's my content library? There we are. I still haven't submitted the 40s underwear yet. I'm close. I'm close. I'm still doing the promos. All right, let's take a look at this. I think you are good to go. What's the date say on that? Does it say June 14th? Is that 2 days ago? That sounds about right. Let me see where we left off with the other one. If it says June 14th, about the same time. I should have looked at the time, right? It still says June 12th. So we're going to update this, I think, with the new mesh. Did I do the new mesh yet? And then we're going to texture stuff. We have the shoes to texture, and we have the dress. I like this dress. It's going to look nice with proper textures, and the shoes will look good, I think, too. Anywho, let me see where I left off with that. Let's take a look-see here. I have to do some changes. I might have to launch Marvel's Designer and export it out once again, but I'm not sure. We'll see. This is a problem with my processes. Sometimes I will put something down for a day and then forget totally where I was. So bear with me. The projects. This is hiding in my desk. This is in the 1950s. Yeah, this is 1950s. Rockabiller Swing 2020. Rockabiller Swing. Yeehaw. Sort you by date so I can tell what's what. So the last thing, I do have a version of the dress saved at 122 on the 122 a.m. on the 14th. Is that the good one? Let's take a look-see. I want to open up another copy of Blender. Let's hit save on that. Open this up. So I reworked the mesh a little bit so it's a little cleaner. So we'll take a look at where I left off with activate, import. Is that the right whip? That is the right whip. Date modified. Well, that's right. I got the straps to work with the Genesis, but I don't know if I touched this one. This might be good. So we're going to take a look at the back and see if this is connected and yet split in the back. That's what we're looking for. And I think it is. Okay, so this is the good mesh. So I cleaned up the back seam. It was kind of really janky. So basically what I had done is I sewed this together, exported it. Well, we had issues. But one of the issues was we weren't getting internal lines aren't welding anymore. So what I did is I went back to an old version, opened up the dress, re-exported it so that this pocket wasn't getting welded to the dress. I've got that fixed. And also what I did is I sewed the back up, and I'm going to split that up so there's a little bit of a seam in there. And then there's another seam underneath that where we're going to put our zipper texture. And then for our undone version, we're going to split that seam. But that comes much later. So for right now, kind of good. So this is good to go. I think this is the one I can import. We can rig this, get this up to speed. I might have to play around to get these straps to undo. Here, I want to show off the straps. You might fall asleep. You think you ate too much corned beef hash? Ooh. That's a good excuse to fall asleep. Anyhow, here's the latest version. Hopefully I saved this. I have this bow set up so you can morph it to undo it. At least that was the plan. And look at that. I'm pretty psyched how that turned out. I think I have to tweak some stuff. I think my mesh smoothing still has to be set to generic. You fall asleep just thinking about it. Yep. So I'm happy with that morph there. So in the future, I'll probably be trying to do, and it's a fake bow. It's like one loop on top of another loop. They look like a knot, but it's not really a knot. But I'm kind of happy with the directions. I could have been a nicer looking bow, but I'm going to live with that. Anywho, so let's set up the. And unfortunately, the way I'm doing this is I can't steal the morphs off of this for the other dress. I probably want to redo it anyhow. But anyhow, what was I doing? I tried that welding thing a while back, and it's a little hard on the monitors. um. So this is fine. Let's pick up where we left off with the other. Let's see how much I can get away with reusing. They're going to bring in Genesis 9. So let's take a quick look at my mesh over here and just, all the material names are still janky. So I'm going to have to try to be careful to rename these to match the other one, but we'll worry about that later. Anyhow, I'm going to just reload in the old dress that I'm going to swap out. You know what? No, I'm just going to re-rig this. Never mind. Yeah, I don't have anything special in here that I really save. So here, let's get this in. We are looking for that dress right there. Accept that. Totally don't look like you're the right. Oh, you know what it is? My importer is scaled wrong. I have to fix that. I forgot. I was importing in something before and I changed my import. So we're going to do this again. This time I'm going to remember to change this number back to 10,000. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. All right, let's run the magic. Transfer tool. Genesis 9. Rockabilly dress. I'm going to use the, do I have a dress loose template? Hey, there's that Snow Bunny. Snow Bunny found a round can of New Zealand corned beef. Oh, you'll call it Libby Libby Libby. Do you have that for breakfast or was that for lunch? I think we hit accept. Let it do its magic. All right, we're going to do a couple other things to this dress, and then we're going to save it. We're gonna spend the tedious time it takes to clean up all the names here. Is the brand? Oh, you had it for lunch. Okay. So bodice. I should probably break out the Genesis 8 dress just to make sure we're matching these names. Sometimes I'll make changes to this stuff and then forget to do it on the other version. I think one of these is not right. I think I did rename this. So there's something amiss here. The fact that dress upper is in front of dress lower. That should not be the case. It tells me I screwed that up. But I fixed it on the other one. I'm going to fix it over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take whatever this says here. We're going to just take dress upper and copy that. My eyes are getting so bad I can't even tell how I misspelled dress. Maybe there's two E's in there. I can't. For my birthday, I'm buying myself a eye exam. That's what I'm getting for my birthday. And new glasses. Eye exam isn't a lot of good without the new glasses. It's scary. My computer glasses I can drive with now. They're actually better than the graduated glasses for driving. It is a little weird, but go with it. I think that might have been, and I don't think I've changed any of the UVs on this since I set it up in Substance. We'll double check that too before we get too far and I cry. And I realized that I actually did change the UVs. So I think this should be good. Oh, hold on just a second. All right, I'm back. Yeah, 2 weeks birthday celebration. I think Saturday. We'll do it on Saturday the 28th. And then a few days after that, we get the 4th of July. I don't stream on the 4th of July, so we'll probably what is it best? Celebrate before? Yeah, celebrate before. It's always goofy to celebrate a holiday after it's passed, right? Yeah, we'll have a parade. How a chinchilla stare at me from its cage, and that'll pass for the parade. No, no, I need to get the Air Force, right? We're going to say it's the 250th anniversary of the Air Force. Okay, so granted, the Air Force didn't really come into being until after the Second World War, but that's beside the point. I've got an air base nearby. What am I doing? Oh, I'm changing names. I think all my names are changed. I think we're good there. Uh, let's put D-Force on that thing. Let's tweak the come over here. Let's put my generic shader on here. Probably have a better turnout than he who shall not be named. No, no. Didn't you hear? They had 250,000 people. They had a capacity for 200,000, so of course 250,000 showed up. On the other hand, Trump thinks that's 12 inches. Are we done yet? No, we're applying. We're applying. There we go. You got our shader on there. Um, let's test the force just to make sure nothing explodes. So it should just, it's all loosey goosey, so it should just kind of fall. I think that's going to be fine. Cancel that. Let's reset this. No, actually, there we go. We're going to reset that. I'm going to try something. I'm going to see if I can load the Genesis 8 version in here as a morph target. I don't think I can, but I don't know. Maybe I've accidentally kept the vertex orders correct. Anytime I make changes in Blender, even though I think I'm doing the same changes in both versions, it'll invariably it breaks the vertex order. We're about 20 miles from where those funny looking airplanes live. Oh. I'm testing morphs. Let's try this. I'm going to do this. Use a morph file. We're going to come over here and we're going to head down to here, to here. Grab that one right there. Open that. And let's see, that did not work. Okay, never mind. We're not going to be able to do it that way. But anyhow, I think this is kind of where I wanted to get this for today. Almost. Yeah, and then I'm just going to save this, and then we're going to go make textures. Do that. Do this. I'm going to overwrite the other one. That's the Genesis 8. Let's not overwrite that. Overwrite this Genesis 9 version since I've updated it. I'd really that anymore. Want to replace it. Products Rockabilly Swing, RS Rock Swing Dress G9. Looks good. Your address. I think the rest of this is good. I'm just going to do that and hope for the best. We're going to pop over to Substance Painter and I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to save out the, did I do an ID map? I did do an ID map. Let's save the ID map to see how that looks. Did I save an ID map already? Maybe I did. I do like to do that right off the bat. I'm looking for my folder, seeing if I got an ID map, and that can show me if my UVs are lining up or not. Or I could just look at the UV view. I'm going to be clever. We're going to use the ID map. Except I'm lost again. Projects. There we go. 50s. Rockabilly. Whip. Do I have an ID map in here? I guess I didn't save one yet. All right, we're going to save one and come back and apply it. See how that's looking. Do that. But since I'm thinking about it, let's take a look at the UVs. So I think that's correct. Fingers crossed. All right, let's come back here and let's get Substance Painter rocking and rolling here. Go back to perspective view for now. So when we last saw the Rockabilly Swing outfit, I had just gotten it set up in Substance Painter. And hopefully I just clicked on Substance Painter. I did. Okay. close you, come over here. We're going to work on the shoes and the dress today. At some point, I'm going to try to step away from the dress and make sure I get to the shoes. We want to add some stitching to the shoes. I'm not sure if I would need stitching on the dress or not. I do want to add a zipper on the back, though. All right, let's, did I do the ID map? Yes, we did do the ID map. So we're going to save this because we need this to make our displacement maps later. Export textures. Let's choose our ID map. Just that one right there. Just straight up, everything's on one UDIM, and then I'm just going to hit export. Use the open output directory button. So cool. Let's copy you. Actually, let's cut you. Bring you over to drop you into here. And you know what? Now I can just drop this on the dress. I just do this. Dun dun dun. Oh, see how that's looking. It should line up like it's supposed to. So I'm reasonably optimistic. A couple of things I wish I had done. I wish I had set up trim lines on this bodice. But I'm just going to cheat those in by just painting them on in Photoshop, I think. And then getting this untied is going to be tricky. I had some issues last time. I don't think I'm going to do that on stream. I don't think I'll have time. Oh, we still have to do the buttons. I don't know if I'll get to that today or if we'll do that tomorrow. We have a button made. We just have to attach them and then save it. Anyhow, back to... Okay, so I don't actually need Blender open right now. So we're going to close you. I'm going to put you to the side. I'm going to pop back over here, and we're going to think about colors. And I'm thinking, gosh, I always get like 1,000, well, not 1,000, but like dozens and dozens of ideas for color combinations. But then again, I don't want to spend a month just doing textures for one outfit. Do I have that dot? There is metallic gray round. Hey, Loki, how are you doing? I'm trying to think if there's a clever way to do... I apparently don't have... did I set up dot maps? You know, once upon a time I had dot maps, and I don't know where they went. Maybe they're in the original dress somewhere. Maybe there's a clever... Let me type dot again and see if there was something over here. Nope, I think I'm going to have to build this from scratch. Okay, I'm going to go shopping at Amazon. Give me a second. I'm over on screen 2. I'm signing out of my Amazon account. And we're going to go shopping for swing dresses, rockabilly dresses. Let's say rockabilly dresses. Come on, Amazon. I super believe in you. It wants me to sign in. Don't do that. Just let me browse the site. That's better. Rockabilly dresses for women. There we go. Polka dots are very big. Oh, and the cherry. That's right. I like the cherry pattern. I used that on a dress. I'm going to set up a couple of dots, I think. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a square with a dot. Actually, I'm going to make a square with parts of a dot. So we can tile it in this. No, actually, I can just make a square with a dot and we can rotate. That's right. And I'm trying to, let's take a look. Trying to think of the proportions we want to do with this. So this dot, so the distance between dots is a little bit more than a dot. I think I'm going to go with that. We're going to do this in PowerPoint, don't worry. You knew there would be PowerPoint in there somewhere, right? Let's do it like this. Put that back over there. You I don't need. And that I can make small. That is, did I just close the wrong thing? I just closed the wrong one. You I want back. Okay. So we're going to do this. We're going to make a square and we're going to put a dot in it. I'm going to make the square 2.5 by 2.5. I think I'm going to see how this works out. And then this is just a 1-inch dot. I'm just going to center those up. I'm going to use this as a mask. So I'll make this, first off, we're going to get rid of these shape outlines. I'm going to make you black. Oops, try that again. Make you black and make you white. I think that's going to be a little smaller than I really want. And what I really want is I really want it on there. So I'm going to chop this in half. No, I'm good. Never mind. I just... You're not white, though. I don't think you're white. You look like you're light gray. So are you guys all lined up? If you weren't, you are now. Okay. Let's copy you. I just save you as a picture into the whip directory. I think I can do that. Look at that. I got dots in here. In my pictures folder. I'm going to stick you over in the... You know what? I'm going to put you in here. Dot. And maybe turn the cap lock off going forward. Let's do that. Okay, that's all I need PowerPoint for. It's just so much faster for me to make stuff like that PowerPoint. 3 decades of PowerPoint experience. Going back to substance, and I'm going to load that in, and we're going to use it as a tiling mask. We never, ever, never, ever use PowerPoint. Well, most people wouldn't have to, would they? Train has stopped. Train has restarted. Import resources. I mean, years back it seemed like every daddy did. Yeah. I don't. Does everybody? Did everybody? Did you use Word? Your kids used it for school today? You used it. Okay. At least you've used Word. No, I don't use Word. I like WordPerfect. WordPerfect, the one true word processor. Oh, not today, but kind of like yesterday or the day before today. Because they're not in school right now, right? They're off for the summer. And my brain stopped. I'm importing my resource file. Import resources. Add resource. Let's go find. I put it in my picture directory. There it is. Dot. Open that up. That's going to be an alpha. I'm going to put that old CCOX on it. Helps me find things. That's what I figured you meant. Instead of PowerPoint, you just did everything in Dreamweaver, Firefly, Photoshop. Yeah, I mean, if you're better at something, I can see that. I think this is good. Do I want to import this as a? Yeah, I'm going to do library my assets, so this is available to everything, and hit import. Oakley dokley. Let's go back to materials. Materials. Um, totally not going to keep that. Let's put a color layer in here. I'm thinking, do I want a texture with that? Let me check these silks and see if I'm getting any sort of interesting color texture with that or not. I actually am, aren't I? We're going to tile the, you know what? I'm just going to dupe this. Duplicate layers. I'm going to use this one for best color. So we're just going to turn all of this off. Come over here. Either of these guys have a height map on? They don't. You have a height map on. You don't. Do not. You don't have a height map. You do now have a height map. Do I want to tile you? Turn that off. Because I think I want my tiling to maybe be. Of course, if it gets too small, you can't. Yeah, we're just going to go with that. And let's match that because I'm just going to use this one to change colors. And let's start with the red and the black. That over there. Doing over here. And let's drop another layer in here. Bum, 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 bum. Can I tile this? I can tile it. Okay. Duplicate layers. This one is just going to make black. And of course, when I say black, I mean almost black. This real black is just gauche. And I'm going to up a little bit. All right, now we're just going to put a black mask on that. Add a fill to that. I'm going to mask it with that. We're going to tile that just a little bit. To you, PowerPoint was only creating slideshows and used it above programs. Yeah, in the investment banking world, they use it for everything. They make their pitch decks out of it. They make their confidential information memorandums out with it. We used to use Word for that, but they stopped doing that once upon a time. I haven't used Word in the investment banking world for a long time. When I first started, it was like, I want to say maybe 2/3 or more of what I did. Maybe half. Maybe it was half Word, half PowerPoint. I worked at one bank that was like doing slideshows with Word. I swear we spent half of our time keeping things from wrapping to the next page. So we're going to tile this and rotate it. There we go. Looks like dots now. This locks at 32, but we can exceed that. And also we can rotate that 45 degrees to give that cool looking look. And we're getting a little bit of weird stretching in here, so we're going to change our mapping mode, I think, to... It is UV projected, so why are you stretching down there? Are you UV? Is it right in here? You are UV projected. You shouldn't be stretching. Am I just getting stretching in my fabric? Is that what it's doing? How bothersome. Because I know if I switch that to... did Marvelous Designer just stretch a little bit? Could have. It just looks odd. You are totally not supposed to be stretched out like that. Damn you, Marvelous Designer. Anyhow, I want these to be bigger. Maybe 32. Oh, I got the pockets in here. That's causing... Right there. That's kind of annoying. If I do... No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, that's not... I'm just going to have to go with this. So I think maybe I actually want my circles to be a little bit smaller. And then we could just overwrite dot. Try that. Then I think I can just... is there like a reload? Oh, I do have a dots in here. Did you... I think you did. What happens if I drag the dots over in here? That's designed not to be rotated. Now I'm going to go back with my original and re-rotate that. I think we'll make that tiling a little higher, but not as high as it was. Maybe somewhere in there. What I probably am going to do is I'm probably going to just touch these up manually. Or I have it where they're especially bad. I'll use a mask to copy these out, and then we'll go ahead and just put maybe a dot in there. That's going to be a little tricky to get just right. I'm thinking. Let me go grab my dirt before I forget. And you, my dirt layer. So this is going to be into how we had the grunge. Looking good. Let's tear it up. Let's add some tears. What did I call you? Torn? Chris Cox tire torn? Yep. Should just be opacity maps. Of course it isn't. Software spent several frustrating hours yesterday trying to get all your DAS content and backups copied onto the terabyte drive. 2 terabytes. When I tried to copy my DAS libraries, kept hanging up after about 5%. DAS being DAS, I guess. Okay, I only want the opacity on this. And we're just going to look at the opacity here, and we're going to tweak this a little bit until we're happy with the way our... Just going to shut down. I want this one. I might not even keep that one. We'll do these like one at a time. We'll scale this. You are trying, yes. You two are coming over to the DAS side. We have cool content and a credit plan. We have financing. You'll need financing to use DAS on the wrong layer. Play with this one. What did I tell you to? 3. Make you 4 and see what you're looking like. That might, and I'm probably going to touch up these opacity maps in PowerPoint at some point, or Photoshop. Take a look at how you're looking. We say 3 on you. That one's not too bad. You turn on a couple of these together, it's even more raggedy. You know what? I think I'm probably going to go with that for the opacities for the tattards, at least out in here. And Photoshop, I got a little brush I'm just going to run across the dress edges that'll just tear those up. So as we saved this, we have. Let's hit save. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. Let's go back to material mode. Oh, I gotta add the buttons in here. Let's give the I think basically the buttons are mostly going to be black, right? They're going to be plastic. Something like latex black might make it good. Do that. I'm going to roll that back over here so that when we put the dirt on, it'll also dirty up the button. That should be, those are the threads. So let's find, do I have a rope material by any chance? Do. So I'm just going to throw rope on the threads. We're going to change that color though to something. And you can barely even see this. But you know, for black buttons, you're going to probably use black thread anyhow. Do I get color options on that? I do. Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to drag this down here. We'll put the dirt on it. That also gets dirty. Okay, let me see if I can clean up some of these dots here. This mask. I think if I put another fill layer on here. Where am I? This one right here. Right here. another fill layer on there. Oops, nope. Right here. Can I just add another fill? Am I add fill? I need a white mask. Where's my fill right now? Oh, no, I need a paint layer in here. Never mind. I'll remember how this goes. I'm gonna add a paint. That was a fill. That's a paint. And then what I can do is I can erase these on this paint layer, and then I can add another paint layer, and I can paint in 6 ones. Where's my color for my paint layer? There you are. Done that. I can just kind of, it's almost like I'm erasing it. You know, and these ones got a little weird. That one's probably okay. We'll just get rid of these. And then what I want to do is I want to add another paint layer in here. Nope, right in here. Nope, I did it. I messed up again. There we go. My mouse is moving, but nothing's happening. Plop. The black dots in here. Pop back over here. Unfortunately, I can't really see what's going on inside some of these creases. Pop you back. I can erase you. And I don't want to get too far ahead because I'm going to forget what I need to fix. And that one over there looks a little amiss. So we're going to fill you back over here. Flip that in right there. And what did I take one from right there? Okay, those are on a seam, so that's fine. I think I might have gotten the most grievous ones. Oh, there's this one could probably. I've got the wrong one. Back here. You know, I could just paint this all on the same layer. What am I thinking? That's easier if I keep it separated. Yeah. Right, that we can get rid of. Flip you back. Drop a little circle in there in its place. That's a little wonky, but I'm going to leave it. There's a couple of really bad ones right in there. Go clean thems. That one over there. Mostly just the stuff on the front. That back. So basically what I'm doing is I'm painting black. That masks out. Then when we go back in and touch up with white, it lets it come back in again. My precision's a little off here. Probably good enough. No, I want to. That one needs a little tweaking. I wish I didn't have to keep rotating down to the bottom of this thing, though. That is just kind of inconvenient. Every time I do that, it resets it back to the top instead of where I really want to be. Got a really bad one right in there. That could probably be a little bit better, but you know what? I think I'm going to live with that. It's kind of a little nasty looking. Part of my hem missing. You know what? I think this is going to be good enough. All right, so we're going to save this. I have it set up in silk. Do I want it to be silk, actually? In retrospect, I don't think I actually want a silk. I think I want to go with a cotton. So I'm going to just swap these out. That I think I can just update with something that's not silk. Take a look. At different cottons. Cotton jersey. I don't cotton jersey. Pops and stripes. Does that? I think that comes with a distinct stripe on it, though. And I'm not sure. I mean, if I make that white and I make the other one white, you still see the stripe. So that's the problem with that. Actually, is there a way just to make the stripe go away? And then what's the point? Because I like the rest of the material. Uh, that will get rid of that. Never mind. Moving along. So cotton, let me see, is that... You know what? Let's just try that. Let's adjust that tiling. I'm at that point where the resolution is smaller than this texture. But you know what? I think I'm going to go with that. Make that. Well, I'm going to copy. Can I just copy? What do you call it? CFX or something? Mask. Copy mask. I just paste mask. No, that was row. I copied the wrong mask. That's what I did. That's better. I'm just going to set those to be black. At least I hope I can. Oh, they're good. It's got a fabric color I can change. Well, got another clothing product done. Yay! It's got to make 3 README files and be ready to go out. Is this the swimsuit? Or we don't talk about swimsuits? Let's do bikini. Okay. That there. Turn you off. you off. I think I can just delete that mask. Is there something here that says remove? Here, remove mask. Switch this to be red. I think I'm going to try that. You need a palette cleanser. I think I'm ready to send out the base colors. So Control Shift E. I'm also going to do a silk matte. Let's export. Nope, I did the wrong thing. All right, I need to do the 5-channel. Wrong thing. Right there. Push that to 5 channels. Yeah, 5 channels. Export that. Is good. Come over here. Okay, that I already moved. That. You know what? We're going to rename. Are you black? I don't see anything. I think that's just black. We don't need that. And is that roughness got a texture to it? It actually does. A slight texture to that roughness. Also, I need that for the buttons. I'm going to keep that. So we're going to rename all of this cotton. Oops, I did. I'm going to swipe dress for dress cotton. Apply that. Close that. We're going to rename you red and black. All right, I'm going to save out the dirty stuff. Activate that. Control Shift E. Export. Pop back over to here. Okay, once again, we don't need that. We are going to be worn red and black. I don't need these two anymore. And you are the worn roughness cotton, worn cotton. Yes, worn cotton roughness. Okay. And you are actually, I did say worn. Okay, excellent. Control X. Pop over to the directory where we keep our textures for this. Rockabilly swing. You know what? This should. I need another one in here. I should have called this shoes. I'm not too far along, so it's not going to be too painful to switch these out. Let's do a rename on that. And we'll just add another new folder here. That. Also, I do want to set up some maps for silk. I'm going to use it for like the trim parts, I think. Okay, you had to get this. Bio break, smoke, and checking on Ma's laundry. All right. Loki's probably walked away already. Yeah, I may have that. I think. I don't recall anymore. You're back on your phone, actually. Okay. Let's close that. Let's just do a generic black silk. So you get turned off. You get turned off. Actually, let me do. I'm going to put you here. Let's group these two together. Cotton. I can just turn the cotton off. You can turn the dirt back off. Latex black is still for the button. $4. What the heck? Yeah, that's true. And if you got plans for it, turns out your internal clock was off. And the laundry still has 2 minutes. Chilling on the porch. Okay, so this is the silk, but I want that. Are you? I tile you up to. I did. I'm gonna make you black. And then we're gonna export that out. Pop back to the output directory. So I do see this has got a metallic. I don't actually do actually want these. Yeah, I'm just gonna call black. And then these I'm going to rename and call them silk. Instead of dress cotton, this is dress silk. And I think we're good here. So I can just cut all of this, pop back over to here, drop those in. Looking good. Okay, let's hit save on this before I lose it. Oh, let's make the dirty version of the silk. Okay, so I don't need those because those are the same as the other silk. And then this is going to be warm black. And these are going to be worn silk. Oops. Okay, and then move these over to the texture folder. Oakley dokley. Trying to think. I don't think I need to put any I need stitches on this for dresses. No, I'm going to put them on the shoes though, because you usually can see stitching on shoes. Dresses is a lot harder. Yep, the brain has stopped. Okay, maybe I will do the stitching, and then I just have to resave everything again. Heck, nabbit. Yeah, because a lot of this stuff is going to be seamed over. Stitching is so fine. Although I do think I may want it on the ribbon. No, I'm going to leave it. We're going to go with this. All right. You can think of a few fun things to do with it. Is there a TNA in the future for that? All right, let's put materials on here. So I think I'm going to do red with black trim. Do I want to make this black maybe? Maybe. Let's see how that looks. Let's do... So first off, I'm just going to switch. Yeah, let's do the bodice in silk. Update the base color with that. We have a silk metal. Drop that in there. I'm viewing hidden. Let's stop that so I can work on this. There we go. That's better. So I do have a silk height map. Put right there. Silk normal map. There. Got the silk roughness map. There. That is the bodice. Why does that look a little red? Oh, it's because I have it selected in the surfaces tab over there. Okay. And it was highlighted it. That's what was freaking me out. I'm looking at that color going, that's not right. That's, oh, right. So this is good. So I'm going to copy selected surfaces. And I'm going to apply we're going to apply it to all the ribbon. So the straps, we're going to put it on the straps. Oh, I have to do the damn zippers. I forgot the zippers. I did want to do those. We're going to put it on the pockets. Put it on this and this. And we'll put it on the, I'm going to do the long dress to start with. So we'll just paste it on all of that. And now let's do the cotton on the top part. You're not moving, are you? So that's going to be the red and black there. Okay, the metallicity, that is off. Do I have a roughness? I have a silk roughness. Did I use the silk? Oh, that's a worn silk roughness. Never mind. I do have a cotton roughness. I think I used the wrong. I did use the wrong color. I used the worn color. Good. And then I have a height map in here. It's silk. That's cotton. Try that again. Okay. And then I have this normal map here. That in there. Oh, googly boogly. Come on, man. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. I think I'm good. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that to these other parts. Okay, so the silk needs some tweaking. I'm going to steal one of the materials from the 40s underwear because I kind of like the way my silk was looking on that. Yeah, that's right. You're in a test folder now. Forty's underwear is almost done. I'm just making the promos, and of course, as I make promos, I always figure out stuff that needs to be fixed or changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, paste over that, and then I'm going to update it with the proper maps. So did you come in? You know what? You probably copied those UVs, didn't you? Where is that UV anyhow? Yeah, we're just going to use the default. Did you? Oh, because it has opacity on it. Does it? I don't know. We're just going to swap this stuff out. So the metallicity on that is, I'm looking for dress silk metallic. Base color is going to become the black. Hey, Murga, how are you doing today? Glossy roughness become. I'm going to use the map for that. Where are you? Where are you? Rockabilly swing, silk, roughness. There we go. Base bump map is going to be the silk height map. Normal map. I'm going to use the silk normal map. I'm going to swap that out for the black. Down here, top coat color. Do I want that top coat color like that, or do I want to swap that out for the black? I might tweak that. Top coat roughness. You know what? I'm going to swap that out for the silk roughness. And cut out opacity. We don't need cut out opacity. There, I think, and then I don't need this displacement map. We're going to update that later. So I'm going to render this and see how it's looking. So the improved silk should be on here. The kind of the jankier silk should still be on these. I might tweak this a little bit. Anyhow, look at that memory. I'm already using almost up all my GRAM. So Control R. Let's see how this is looking. And now you're thirsty. That is getting quite the sheen. That's an awful lot of sheen. Where are you? I don't have that much of this color in the environment. Are you just coming from a light? Do I just have a big light that's doing that? So maybe I will just tweak the roughness. Let's turn that off. You know, that's actually not too bad. I might just switch it back to this for now. And it looks really flat because we don't have displacement maps in here. You know what? I think I'm just going to go back to this and I'll maybe tweak the silkiness later. Was something I wanted to do. Oh, you know, there's a couple things that I forgot to do on the dress when I saved it. I think I forgot to add the subdivision and the smoothing modifier. We'll get those added here. Hurt the sub D and add the smoothing modifier. And we'll just save this again. Should be good. Of course, we're going to add the zipper. Somebody forgot to put the zipper, so I have to resave all of that because I forgot to do the zipper. Oh well, hopefully it goes faster this time. The zipper I think goes right about there. Let's turn you off. Right now zipper should just be cotton. So I'm going to duplicate one of these cotton layers. Let's duplicate that one there. I'm going to do that. We're going to put a color selector on here. We'll black mask that. We'll add a color selection, and I'm going to put that right there. And that looks like it was a really similar color to that. So let's tweak our tolerance here. So hopefully are you guys the same color really? Dag nabbit. Pretty freaking close. Okay, we're going to update this ID map. Or I can just rebake it. You know what? We can just rebake it. I'm going to change this color here. Let's see if we can just do this with Blender real quick. So we're going to bring the ID version in. Change the color of that. Hopefully I set that to a separate zone. I think I had a zipper material in here. I want that one right there. Oh, I don't think I have a zipper in here. I'm going to have to set up a zipper. We'll save that out. So I think you're probably your bodice, right? Yep. Let's tab in here. Let's select bodice. Let's hide everything else out. Then I just want to set this from here to down here to be zipper. Hopefully I can just do this. Close enough. Did you not get a sign? Oh, I'm not looking. All right, let's try this. Did I set the button to a different color? Button doesn't seem to have a color. It had a color. It does have a color. Or it has a different color. Okay, we're fine. That's just a shadow. It is. It looks like a shadow from the button. Let me try this. I'm going to call you IDs too, just in case I really screw something up. And I am saving the materials. Oops, one thing I do want to do, let's just make sure shade smooth, and then I'll save this out. Back over into here. Let's rebake that ID map. So get rid of that, reload in that one. Should be good. I still have everything set up for baking the ID map. Bake that. Okay, hopefully that worked out. Back to painting. All right, we got our new color in here. So I can change that to that. And just to make sure that I am doing what I think I'm doing. Yep, we're good. Okay. I'm just going to run a zipper through the middle of this. Let's go dig. Let's set up a paint layer on top of this. Get a zipper brush and try to run it right down the middle. You the zipper or are you the 3D? Yeah, you're the pen tool zipper. And I can't really use that because I got fabric in the way. Can't get to that because that's just the way. You can't use the pen tool in 2D mode. In 3D mode, I've actually got material covering that, so I can't use it. Well, actually, it just gets weird. That's what it really comes down to. So here, let's type in zip. I'll try that one, zipper advanced, and then we'll just make you small. Maybe we'll just click and click. And let's see, what are we painting? I don't think I'm painting on UVs. I think I'm doing like tangent. Switch that to UVs. Do that. Let's do this again. There's my zipper. I may actually put a modeled zipper in here. I haven't decided yet. And let's duplicate you. So we basically have I guess that's brass. Yeah, it's kind of a brass color, but we've duplicated this. We're gonna put a hue and saturation filter on there and slide that into a neutral and make it a little more bluish. And so that's sort of like a steel zipper. We'll add filter, come over here. We're looking at saturation lightness. So I'm going to zoom in here so we can watch the hue. Slide the hue back this way. I want to slide it into the blue zone. Kind of like that. And we'll desaturate a little bit. Here we go. And we're going to label you for steel. Not even sure I'm going to use a steel zipper, but we'll see. If I do, we're ready to go. Zipper brass. All right, now I just have to save everything again. Now that I got my zippers. So now now I will need the metallicity mask for the cotton version. Okay, that's fine. Control Shift E. Here we go. Whee! Uh, export. So this is the cotton version. So I do need to keep this one. I'm gonna rename. You are get to be red and black. Ideally, it will complain that I'm overwriting 4 files when we do this. So that's the plan. Take all these and rename them. You're going to be cotton. Okay, one set of textures down. I think I can just get away with leaving these right here for now. Close you, turn the dirt on, export that. Here. So I don't need these because that should be the same as the other ones. That is worn red and black. And if I'm doing this right, this will overwrite the other one we did earlier. I think there's still probably something a little metallic in there, so that's going to be need that one and that one. So we're going to rename these. Those are worn cotton. Could be good. All right, and then we're going to do the same for the silk set. I think I could copy this. I have 8 files. It'll probably complain for 7. At least that's the plan. Maybe 6. It's almost hypnotic. Thanks, Rod. 8. It says I'm replacing 8. Okay. I guess I did save a cotton metallic, even though it was black. So we moved you. I can clean that up. Close that. Okay, we're going to turn the dirt back off. I'm going to turn the cotton. I'm going to leave this one, but we're going to change the color to black. This is, I want to say zipper. There's the tape, zipper tape. Right. You know what? I think I will use the steel with the black. No, I'm not. I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to use the steel with the black. I'm debating what color I want to set this. You know what? I think this will just be red and brass, but I am going to do the steel with the black. So we're going to change this tape color to be black. Then I'm going to turn the cotton off. Have the silk. So we're ready to go with the silk. Should be good. Pop over here. You're just going to be black. These are going to get silk added to their names. Rename with Power Renamer. You become silk. Should be good. So ideally, it'll complain about 5 files. Yep, okay. Excellent. Get back over to here. Now I'm just going to save the dirty version of the black. Activate dirt. Export. Pop back over to the export folder. Okay, so we don't need those because those are the same as the clean version. That's just going to be worn black. You know what? I'm just going to, yeah, you're going to be, let's rename these. Worn silk, right? This becomes worn black here. I may have to look into SP in my Adobe. It's an extra subscription on top of your Creative Cloud. Those sneaky bastards. Don't I wish that was just part of the Creative Cloud? I'm already spending too much on Creative Cloud. It would have been nice to get something useful like Substance in there. Okay, this should complain that I'm replacing 3 files, if I'm doing this right. I did not do that right. Which means the silks aren't named right, because they don't say... Oh, because they still say dress. I thought I changed those. That's right. And you're supposed to say worn silk. Then I apply. I probably forgot to hit the apply button. So that we don't need. These should give me that. Did you? Didn't change. I probably selected the wrong file because things got shifted around. Okay, it should complain that I'm replacing 2 files. There we go. All right, we're good to go. And because we swapped out the files in here, should be good. I don't know, we might have to do a refresh to see that zipper pop back in there. I think I see the color in there. Oh, you still have that. Let's copy that and paste it into there. There we go. All right, I think I'm good. Now I have to resave this. And then we're going to work on the shoes for a few minutes before the end of stream. I'm going to add stitching to the shoes. Saving. I'm going to resave the dress. Actually, before I do that, I think I set up my Genesis 8 version with D4 settings. So we're going to get those out of that dress. I just went to, there we go. There. Select that. I'm just going to save. Over here is a D-Force preset. You know what? We don't need these. Just delete. Yes. Delete. Yes. Am I in the right place? I think I am. Yeah, Rockabilly. Okay. Nothing quite makes me cry like accidentally deleting files in a nearly finished product. Okay, and then I'm going to take this file, save as a material preset. We're saving the D4 settings for that. That needs to be renamed to RS or something. But anyhow, so this is going to be RS press D force default. Do that. Brings this up. I'm going to just right click and check only simulation settings and apply that. I'm going to double check. I forgot to even make sure that I had this set. I think I did. After I save that, I should then be able to apply that to the Genesis 9 dress. But it actually did bother with. I think I did. Now we're in that painful process of it writing content database updates. Content is smart, but it's slow. Uh-oh. The mug is empty. I think I can last for 15 more minutes. I'm impatiently waiting now. After the first save, it goes a lot faster. Or if I'm doing a lot of these, I just turn the smart content off. There we go. All right, let's double check these materials in here. So I have the dynamic strength set to 0.95 on that. You're set to like 0.7 dynamic strength on the straps. These little knots here should be 0.2, so they don't move. They barely move. They're going to stay. That's this little spot right here in the back of the neck. So this is good. Take that, and then I'm just going to apply that onto here. And there we go. I'm seeing my my settings. This way I don't have to go through and figure out what all I want to do again. All right, now I'm just going to save you. Actually, let's test our D-Force. It's going. It's going. It's going. Looking good. All right, I'm gonna clear that because I don't want to save that simulated. I'm going to do one more thing here before we save again. We are looking at mesh smoothing. I'm going to switch that to be generic instead of base shape because of the way those ribbons will get untied. They get really weird janky using the base shape. When I switch it to generic, it just basically smooths based on its current state, whereas the base shape says smooth based on this calculated shape. All right, we're good. We're saving. G9. Save. Exists. Me. Rockabilly Swim. Name of the product. It is a dress. I'm going to accept that. We will eventually add buttons. I'm going to put 2 buttons here and 1 button on each pocket. And they're not really pockets. They're air quote pockets. And at some point in the future, I'm going to make a morph that'll undo this ribbon. Then we're also going to make a version where this zipper seam is split. So it can come apart back there. But for right now, I think we're good there. Let's move on to texturing the shoes. That's right, they're proper girl pockets. For real women. Real women don't need pockets. They have backpacks. Okay. So I am just set up to crank out colors for this now. I just have to figure out what other color combinations I want. 30-pound purse, pretty much. Hey, look, there's a kitchen sink in here. Just in case I need to wash up real fast. Hmm. Yeah, Control S, file open, recent files. Let's see, do we have the shoes? There's the shoes. So I'm going to add some stitching to the. We're just going to run stitches along these. Each of these belts are going to have stitching on it. I don't have a, what is that, a weft? I'm going to run a little bit of stitching through here. I'm going to run some stitching along these. I'm not going to put stitching on the bottom. Heels get nailed in. I'm going to switch that to be brass. Okay, let's do this. Do I want to do my stitching with the pen tool? I don't think I have any. Yeah, we're going to use the, we'll try the fancy pen tool. No, actually, you know what? I don't like the pen tool. I changed my mind already. That didn't last long, did it? So what am I using for the plastic rubber? Old worn leather. Brass polish. Why does this brass polish look weird? I think I accidentally. Yeah, you know what? I accidentally dropped in a cowhide into the brass polish, so I have to get rid of that. Or fix it. I think I can. You know, we're just going to get rid of that. Just, brass polished. Oops. I need to see where my. There we go. Control and drop that onto that color there. Excellent. We're going to get rid of this. I'm going to put you down here. Actually, let's load in the dirt. Oh, I forgot to save the tattered map. I will do that later. So my dirt was originally made for my Storm Raider outfit. Henceforth, I always have to search for Storm. Uh-oh. Oh, now it's getting slow. I think I'm running out of resources. No! You know what? We're not gonna get back because I got 7 minutes left. Just gonna shut Daz down. I'm gonna shut PowerPoint down. We're gonna shut Blender down. Not that Blender's using that much. Okay, where am I? That's right. I'm looking for Storm. Right there. Right there is my dirt. So just drag and drop that. I'm relatively happy with how this dirt looks. So we're just going to hide you because we're not using the dirt right now. I'm just going to pen tool in some stitching. Put in a paint layer right here. Over here, grab the pen tool here. Clear that filter so I can see top stitching. That's what we want there. Nice thing about this pen tool is I can change how it works later on. Bad thing about it is it only works with 3D view. Bogus. Okay, let's tweak the settings on that so that it looks a little better than that default. So we're going to make this. You got a little weird over there, didn't you? There we go. My curve went under the surface. That's what happens there. Okay, I'm going to select that, and then we're going to make adjustments to this thing. Yo, Johnston, how are you doing, man? So I'm going to make my stitching bright red because that's an easy color for me to adjust later on. Hey, everybody, check out my man Johnston. Streams occasionally over. Streams a lot on Kick, actually. I don't know if I ever got a Johnston command, though. I gotta get a Johnston command. One of these days. I don't even know if I spelled that right. That didn't do anything. All right, I need a... Yeah, so you can go check him. He's on Twitch, but he's been streaming mostly on Kick these days. Yeah, let's do the normals on that. I'm texturing shoes. I was texturing a dress, but we're done with that. Let's change the size to maybe 1. Too small. Maybe 2. I kind of like that. I'm going to tweak the position of this a little bit. You are totally trying to get away from me, aren't you? So I am going to make that stitching black in a little bit. But I don't know. Is that going to be good for now? I think that's going to be good for now. Okay. Then we're just going to run another one right along this edge. Chris, I'm going to get off here. All right. Thanks for being here, Charles. You know, it's just about that time. Got one more day of work. Oh, no. Oh, the humanity. All right. That means Charles has to be up before I go to sleep. I've been trying not to stay up that late, but still. All right, I think that's good. I'm going to put this into a group. I can kind of maybe, and then I can put I'm going to put a filter on that so we can change the text color. Although that is a little weird. I don't like that. Are you not moving? I think this is fine. I was putting a filter on here. That's right. We're going to put a filter right on here. And then with that, I can change the, hey, you all following CS Bond, by the way? Make sure you are. Doesn't stream a lot, but when he does, you want to be there. Okay, gonna do that. And basically, I'm going to adjust the saturation. And we tweak the darkness on that. And now I've got black threads. Yay. All right, I think we're going to... I should have mirrored this. Dang it, I keep forgetting. I can mirror shoes. I'm going to redraw these, then we're going to call it a day. I just get rid of you. Get rid of you. Then just start drawing another one. And this time I'm going to remember to turn the mirroring on. If I can find it. There it is. So ideally, I should, whatever I do here, get mirrored to the other side. Yay. And right now we're doing it in black. Although it's red, but we're just making it look black. We're confusing those commie bastards. bring this back around through this way. And then we're going to raid out. We need to go find somebody to go hang out with. Now I just have to do that for every strap. Hopefully it looks good. Hate to think I'm doing all this and it's just going to look like poo-poo. Don't you just hate it when you do the extra work and then it just looks like poo-poo anyhow? All right. I think we're good. I think part of my line is a little missing here. There we go. Oh, did I lose my, I lost my thing over here. My layers. Where did my layers go? Dang it. Oh, I get the tab key. All right, this is where we're going to leave off for today. Thank you all for being here. And, save. Yo, DJ Ray in here, save the day. Everybody, check out my man DJ Ray. Streaming 1 billion times a week. Or 5. Something like that. DJ Ray. There's fishing. There's game playing. There's sometimes a dance floor. Go check out our man DJ Ray. So we're going to call it a day here. A little bit of progress on the shoes. Nice progress on the dress. I appreciate you all being here. I will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm getting a hankering. I have to do some Marvelous Designer work. So maybe it'll be a Marvelous Designer night. So we'll see. Anyhow, let's find somebody to raid and call it a day. Hey, I have a Discord. Feel free to join. And remember, kids.
Is that a salami in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?
It's a salami.
Yeah, it's a salami. Alrighty. Let's find somebody to raid and call it a day. Alright, who's on the Twitch first at this time? Is Zim still on? Is Zim really still on? No. Damn it. That would have been cool. Oh well. I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom. We're looking for our art friends who don't have a lot of viewers. And then maybe if that's not the case, we can check out one of the music friends. Scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, still scrolling. Looking, I'm looking. I don't know. I don't see any of the usual suspects, so I guess it's somebody new. Coincidence Machine? Is that a recommendation? Coincidence Machine. I see him right there doing music. Okay. We'll do that. Yeah, anyhow, get your raid calls here. By the way, if you happen to be on the YouTube and you're watching, like and subscribe. Anyhow, let's go over and say hi to the Coincidence Machine. They're doing a No Kings Jam. So there you go. Here, did I already do the Discord? Yep, make sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. We will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for more 3D stuff. Follow everybody who's cool and raid calls. If you're not a subscriber, hopefully you can stick around for the raid. Copy that. If you are a subscriber, you can use the sub raid. I'm going to do that. I'm going to slice raid, start that up. Copy this, paste that there, hit that and start the raid. Raid has been started. Thank you all for being here. I hope you all have a good rest of a Monday or Tuesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And I lost my Twitch. There it is. And yeah, take care, Johnson. It was good to see you, buddy. And I think we're good to go. I'm copying my raid call. And catch y'all later. Hasta la vista, baby.